Kraken, although there is a very similarity there, I'd say. Survivalist knife or pocket knife, whatever you want to spin it. The first thing we see is that we've got this case. I would say this is a pretty nice case in general because the Velcro is pretty strong, so it's going to stay sealed. And I guess this would be kind of expected, but there's a belt loop right there, so you can feed your belt through there and it can stay there. Although, as you see, as we pull out the knife, and I do want to say that my first impression of this was that this is a lot heavier than I thought. And I don't mean in a bad way, like it's not cumbersome, but you can tell that this is, how do I say this? Like, I don't want to necessarily say everything that's heavy is automatically well made, but I know that a lot of this weight specifically comes from the D2 blade on there, which is, a very strong, it keeps its sharpness, it maintains its blade for a longer time frame. And this isn't adding so much to the weight, but if you look at the handle, that is actually a fiberglass composite. So that's what they mean when they say the G10 handle, and then they talk about this ball bearing. But I don't honestly know a whole lot about that, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. I will say, my first instinct, I went to go open it like this, but you don't need to open it like that because this is very friendly for, whoops, I'm dropping on the floor. This is very friendly for just opening with one hand because you got this little trigger right here, and it's just basic physics. It opens up just like that. And the same thing, you got a mechanism right here. If I were to push this, and you can lower the blade, but it's not impossible to do it with your one hand, right? It just takes a little bit of conscientiousness, but I'll show you it's not dangerous. If I push it with my ring finger, and then I push it, I want to push it in with my pointer finger, index finger, and then you push it with the thumb, and you see that it catches right there. It's not going to cut you, right? And then if I just give it a little shove, you'll see it goes naturally back into place. So going back to how you're going to keep it on you, you do have this clip right here. You can keep it on your belt. I think this is a well-made knife. Like I said before, just because it's heavier doesn't automatically make it incredible, but you tell this thing is durable. I don't know. You throw this out the window 100 times and get caught in a tornado. Can't make any claims like that because I haven't had the facts to back that up, but I would say that I would feel confident with this thing getting a lot of being beaten up a bunch. Oh, I didn't even get into the whole fact. I wanted to talk about the blade. So, I know how I just said it. Let's open up with two hands real quick. For size comparison, I got a standard. First, I want to talk about how big it is, right? So, compared to a regular sheet of paper, that's what you're going to look at for full length. And if we're going to take out some paper, you can see that if I were to, I gotta keep the paper a little more rigid if I want to do this right, but it cuts through very efficiently. And even for thicker things like this, like we got cardboard, right? The blade comes pre-sharpened. I usually would expect a lot of my knives to not necessarily have an edge, or I'd have to do something with it. But since it does have that D2 blade on it, it's going to maintain that edge for a while. So I don't have to worry about sharpening this for a while. I don't really think there's anything else I can go into depth about that. I think that summarizes it. So I think it's a pretty solid option. I do also want to thank the company because they gave me the opportunity to review this product. So they gave it to me for free of cost so I can give my honest opinion, and that is what it is.